Hey everybody, Prepper Nurse 1 here. It is still October 29th. It is Thursday, 2020. It has been raining all day long. Actually, tonight they're calling for overnight into the morning possibility of snow. So I may wake up in the morning with snow on the ground. So that'll be interesting. That kind of day, just overcast, gloomy, not a whole lot of fun. But I wanted to talk about really quickly in this video about 2.3 million customers. That's not people, that's customers without power through the south right now because of the storm, because of Hurricane Zeta, which is now a tropical storm again. But it hit the coast at a Category 2, and a lot of people, sustained winds when it hit was 110 miles an hour. So a lot of customers, so 2.3 million customers without power. The effect of how many, that's how many households that were affected by that. So how many people, you're talking millions of people. I mean, you figure if there's 3 people in every house, that's over 6 million people without power, right now because of this storm. Again, we have to think about the linemen who will be going down there once again from all over the country and helping to restore that power. It's a tough job they got, guys. I mean, I know they're well compensated, but you got to remember too, these linemen are up there. They're working in this inclement kind of weather, with it raining, if it's snowing, if it's icing. Those guys are out there working with high voltage, high power lines. Very, very dangerous job, and they risk a lot. So, I mean, I know, like I said, I know that they're well compensated. But when you have people that have to go away from their families for extended periods of time to help people get their power back on, it's still, you're not home. And so that's something that people really do need to take into consideration, the sacrifice that these ladies and gentlemen that work on the power lines truly do to help people. But again, with what is happening right now down in New Orleans, it's another great example of why we prep. New Orleans, that whole area. I know it wasn't just in Louisiana. I know that was, Alabama, South Carolina, all through that whole area down there. A lot of people got their power knocked out, and so they're dealing with that as we speak. But again, this is why we prep. This is why we get ready. We don't just get ready for the end of the world, worst case scenario thing that's going to happen. We get ready for things that are going to affect us directly. Be it in our household, and I've talked about that before, be it sickness, loss of job, death in the family of the breadwinner. What happens then? As a breadwinner, I was always, I took care of my family. My thoughts were always, what happens if I'm not here? So when I was with my ex-wife, I had a life insurance policy. At the time, I don't have that anymore, but at the time I had a life insurance policy for $600,000 because I thought in my head, if something happens to me and I die, they need to be taken care of. I got to make sure that, my ex and my kids were taken care of at that time. And so that's why I carried a large policy. We also had a policy on my ex-wife for hers was like $250,000. But, again, those aren't cheap policies when you have those. But again, you have to prepare, you plan ahead, you look at the unforeseen, what could happen. So that's what life insurance is all about. I have life insurance on me right now so that if something happens to me, there's money to go for my kids, and obviously they would get the property and everything else. They would get everything. But, that's... you plan ahead because, again, we just never know. You never know what's going to happen. So, again, prepping isn't always, people think, oh, you're a prepper, you're waiting for the world to end. You sit up and you're hiding in the mountains and you're waiting for the world to end. And that's not it at all. Like I said, prepping is another form of insurance that we do in preparation for whatever is going to happen. And so I want people to think about that, especially right now. Anybody that, if you're down in the Louisiana area or in the South and you've had your power knocked out once again because of another hurricane, and you are not prepping, and not preparing for any kind of scenario, you need to start doing that. Again, anybody that is a prepper, talk to those people that are unprepared and show them this is why we do what we do. You're going to end up finding out a lot of people are going to realize the folly of their ways of not being prepared, and hopefully the next time the next hurricane comes around or next hurricane season, that they are better prepared for that. I mean, nobody could anticipate 5 named hurricanes hitting Louisiana this year. Nobody could anticipate that, especially when the record was 4, and that happened, in 2002. So, people have short memories, unfortunately. But again, being prepared and being ready is such a smart thing to do. And again, but like I said, I wanted to talk about the people down there, and that my thoughts are with them. I hope everybody's safe. I heard that the last I saw that 3 people had lost their lives due to the storm, which is unfortunate. You just, like I said, again, you just never know. So the more that we can be ready, hedging your bets. That's all it comes down to. It's hedging your bets. Again, if you can do what I'm doing here, and this is what I want people to think about too, because, I got all the things, once I got into prepping and started really getting prepared, and people were like, oh, well, you're crazy, the whole 9 yards, okay? But with making the move that I did and changing my situation so that I was not a slave to that system anymore, and yeah, we made sacrifices here, there's no doubt about it. It was a lot harder a few years ago, but it has gotten better. And over time, as we've continued to do things here at the homestead, things have gotten better. And, like with Mom and Becky being here now, I mean, they're walking into a really nice situation. Granted, right now they don't have running water. They may not have running water to the spring. I don't know. I got to call my bulldozer guy and see what's going on and talk with him. But they may not have running water until the spring. But the thing is, they can walk right over to my place, they can take a shower, and they can do all those things. So that's a really good thing, and I'm glad that they're able to do that. They get, if they need fresh water, I'm running at Berkey all the time, and I just fill it back up again when they fill up their containers for water. But, they are now in a position. And see, this is what I want people to think about. Instead of renting, they were living in Batavia. They were in Batavia for about 4 years, okay? They were paying it was close to $800 a month in rent. All right? I want you to, this is just simple math is all this is. So they were paying that much a month in rent. Now they bought this building. That building is under $500 a month. Granted, they had to put money into the building to get it livable and stuff like that. But now they will have that building paid off within 3 years. Okay? And if you think about that, that's a huge difference. You own something. Something is yours. You don't have to pay rent forever and ever and ever. And that makes a huge difference. And people just don't think about that. It's not something that people think about. So, again, short-term sacrifice for long-term gain. When I bought my building over here, I bought my building. I paid it off before the 3 years, and excuse me, it worked out fantastic. And again, so, it's free and clear now. It's not a 30-year mortgage where the bank gets rich, and by the time, you got 6-7 years into paying for the place, now you decide you want to move, you have very little equity in that property because all these loans are front-loaded with interest. And the best part about these loans, guys, and this is what people don't understand either, PMI, private mortgage insurance, unless you have 20% of that mortgage paid off, you have to have PMI. Private mortgage insurance doesn't protect you, it protects the bank. So let's say you decide, I can't pay it anymore. You got your home, you can't pay it anymore, the mortgage payment is too much with the whole 9 yards. So you let the property go. The bank wins over and over and over again because, first of all, they've collected all that interest out of all that money, paid very little principal down, of the initial of what you owed. Then, because you were paying the PMI, they get the full amount for the property. That is the protection for the bank. They get the full amount of the cost of that property covered. Then they kick you out of the property. Then they turn around and they sell the property cheaply. Let's say they sell it at a 50% discount. Let's just say that number. Well, that's a 50% profit because they've already won three ways. They've collected all the money that you've paid out since you've lived there, number one. Then their private mortgage insurance protected them when you stopped paying, so they got paid again. Then they kick you out and they sell the house to somebody else and they get all that money as well. So when you say, oh, the banks, they're raking it in. So something I wanted to share with you. I don't know if you guys knew that, but that's how it goes. The banks will never lose in a situation like that. They will always win. Okay? So they don't have that set up, and they're not successful for no reason. So anyway, I wanted to talk about my website, preppernurse1.com. We have the Legacy Freeze-Dried Food Sale continuing. Right now, that is going to go until the 8th of November. When you check out, if you make an order, preppernurse1.com, you go in and you'll see store. You click on store, it will drop down. It says Legacy Foods. You click on that. You make a purchase. When you check out, 20% will come off your purchase automatically. Okay, we're doing a 20% sale. So the larger packages, if you decide to go with a larger package, the more money you save. And it's a good thing to have for your long-term food storage. Again, GMO free. It is made in the United States. It is also the largest portion size of any of the other freeze-dried foods out there. And it has a 25-year shelf life. So you really can't beat it any way you go around it. It's a great thing to have. It's another way to hedge your bets. Okay, so definitely take advantage of that. Again, that sale will be going until the 8th of November. Okay. Secondly, we have the jdega.com on my website as well, which is the CBD and hemp store. A lot of very good uses, a lot of helpful things with the CBD products, and I've gone over them many times. But if you decide to go over to their store, you will see the link below, jdega.com, or on my website. You can click on their icon there, and it will take you to their website. If you decide to make a purchase on CBD or hemp products, you can save yourself 15% there by using the discount code PrepperNurse1, and that is the number 1, not ONE, when you check out. Also on my website, we have the Prepper Nurse 1 community, which is a resource that we set up for you guys. It is totally free to join. You do have to register, but no credit card information is asked. That is for you to connect with like-minded people. If you want to go in and just look at the message boards, you can do that. Whatever you want to do, whatever way you want to go, it is a good resource for you guys, okay? So just wanted to share that information with you. My kids today, I got to see my kids, and we ended up going to this Italian place that we like to go, and Heather was like, I just want meatballs. I just want the meatballs. And so that's what we did. We got a whole bunch of meatballs. Absolutely delicious. Love them. They're awesome. All homemade. Great place. And that's up in Rochester that we like to go to. So anyway, I hope everybody's doing well. Winding this day down, the weather obviously is just not cooperating, but that's what happens. So I hope everybody's doing well. Remember, guys, we are all in this together. That is important to remember. Also remember to hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what is going to happen in life. So it's always important to make sure that you tell the people that you love every single day how you feel. Also remember, guys, STD. Step, thing, and day. It's one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you are trying to do, whatever you are trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only person that can stop you from reaching those goals is you. Nobody else can stop you. If you stay positive and stay away from the negativity, you're going to be just fine. All right? I hope everybody's doing great. I will see you all tomorrow. I will be live streaming tomorrow night at 8 p.m., so please join me then as well. Okay? Eastern Time. I will talk to you all later. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now.